I do. There's a couple of things, and it's I would say all of the above. I don't want to get too far into where that'll go as far as the roster, but we're looking at that. I think we're going to shake some things up here a little bit, and then as it pertains to practice, there's a couple of things that I have in my head as to which way I want to go with it, but I do want to change it up and see if I can get us into some type of there again, more of a rhythm or tempo early, just to get us going offensively and defensively. I mean, I said this yesterday, but this is what we wanted to come in this game and really come out of the gates, and we did not do that. We went the opposite way, and so I think there's some things in practice we have to do to at least see if we can supercharge ourselves somewhat.
And let me start this by saying I have been on bad teams. When I was in Cleveland, I saw my fair share of bad teams. Never 0-6, but I've been on bad teams. And people think when you're 0-6, and I want to take some time to show some love to the Detroit Lions, kind of, sort of, maybe. People think when you lose, like you practice to lose that week. People think you went out there and said, we're going to lose. We're practicing to lose. That's why we lost. Detroit Lions in Allen Park right now, they're not practicing to lose. They didn't go out there last week and practice. Dan Campbell said he didn't prepare them. But I guarantee you, those guys are still giving effort. Those guys came to work. Those guys came with the mentality that we want to win. And they are undermanned. Those guys aren't practicing to lose. They are putting in the time, the work, and the effort. I've been there. I get it. I like what he said in terms of we're shaking things up. Good. You're 0-6. You're better. Mm-hmm. You don't have a choice. You can shake some things up. And putting Jared Goff on the bench after the Rams game could be one of them. But I like that he said we're shaking things up because he's keeping his players on their toes.
I just want to know this. Jared Goff won 6 playoff games, and he went to a Super Bowl. Had him in the game. How does he come here? And I know he had a bad year last year. I watched a lot of his games last year, and Troy Aikman was very critical of him watching the games. And he's like, I just don't – he didn't want to say bad things about him, but you could just say, I just don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's thinking. What happened to that guy? And I know McVay gave up on him, kind of. Not gave up on him, but
he did. He
gave up on him, but he had a better guy waiting in the wings than Matthew Stafford.
Not in that playoff game.
Well, he did give up on him, and he wanted to start that journeyman last year in the playoff game instead of Goff. Goff came in, and he did pretty well. I just don't know what happened to the kid.
Maz, what happened to him is this. When they went to the Super Bowl, the year before they went to the Super Bowl, and then when they went to the Super Bowl, and then the next year, they had the best running back in the NFL. When you have Ty Gurley getting 1,600 yards and 22 touchdowns, and then you have C.J. Henderson, who eventually replaced Ty Gurley. That's why Ty Gurley left and went to Atlanta. When you got that on your team, and you have Robert Woods, and you have Cooper Kupp, and you had Brandon Cooks at one point, and you had Sammy Watkins at one point, and you have one of the best left tackles in football in Andrew Wentworth, and you have Aaron Donald, and you have Ndamukong Suh, and you have Jalen Ramsey, and you have Marcus Peters. He had so much talent. It's not that Goff was winning those games. It's not that Goff got them to the Super Bowl. He won those 6 playoff games. They had an army of great talent. Yeah, he's just managing.
And defensively as well, too, Braylon. I mean, look, if you're Matthew Stafford, go back to when Stafford played for the Lions. I mean, that guy thought he had to score every possession because if he didn't, he knew the defense was going to give up some sort of a score, whether it was a touchdown or field goal, most likely a touchdown. Goff, the same way. I mean, not so much. I mean, the defense is actually playing pretty decent here. But, if Matthew Stafford doesn't score a touchdown on any particular series for the Los Angeles Rams, who's going to bail him out and get the ball back to him? Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey in the Rams defense. So you're kind of playing a little bit like less more relaxed because you don't have to score every single time you have the football. You don't have to get a touchdown because your defense, if you punted the football with the Detroit Lions, you might as well just given the other team 7 points. Punting is not a bad play now for the Rams. you don't have to force yourself. You don't got to make mistakes because the defense is good enough to get you the ball right back and continue to play. I think when you play with that amount of pressure that's reduced, you play a little bit better.
Yeah.
How about his confidence? When you lose confidence as a player, Braylon, and it happens to everybody.
Yeah, it happened to me in Cleveland my 4th year.
Look at Freddie Freeman in Atlanta for the Braves. One of the greatest hitters in baseball.
7 straight
MVP.
strikeouts.
Look at Yelich.
Struck out 7 straight. Yeah, Yelich.
Look at
I'm talking
Yelich,
about it right now. 7 straight strikeouts till he flied out to left last night. He's completely lost. How do you get it back? Can you get it back if you're Jared Goff?
See, the problem is you have to have people around you that believe in you. See, it's one, you got to have people that believe in you. One, you got to have people that tell you straight. Like, getting your confidence back isn't just about somebody putting their arm around you and say, hey, man, it's going to be okay. You're going to be all right. You got this. You can do this. Sometimes you need somebody to tell you, man, you're playing like crap. You're playing like crap. What's the issue? But the harder part of it for Jared Goff, Ryan, it's not only that you need that. When you're consistently losing, your team is bad, you're consistently losing, and you don't have confidence. If you lose your confidence and you can win some games and your team can bail you out and you can start to see the change and then somebody can get you straight and help you out, it's easier to get your confidence back. It's easier to get back to a level where you trust yourself and you know yourself. But when you're losing every game and now you're getting booed and now you don't trust yourself, it's tough to get that confidence. And I know Mark Brunell well, man. He's a great guy. He's a great quarterback coach. But he's kind of got his work cut out for him, man, with Jared Goff 0-6 and getting booed.
So we heard more from Dan Campbell today. We have another cut, Easy. We do. Let's play this one.
He's talking today.
Yeah, look, I think you know, last night it takes a minute just to step away from it and, and just calm down. Don't let your emotions play into it as you grade the tape. You know, it takes me a minute, and then look at it with open eyes and somewhat of a clean slate, and take it for what it is, and not let your emotions overcome you. And so that's what I did. And look, you always got to find the positives in there, and you take that and you build from those. And I know this, we still go back to, and this is on me, but I go back to the fact it's like, okay, well, we're not doing this well, we're not doing this well. Well, all of that is irrelevant until we're able to clean up MAs and penalties that just shoot ourselves in the foot. We don't have a leg to stand on until we clean those up. Then let's figure out where we're at. Maybe now we're 2nd 3 instead of 2nd 17, which puts us in a better 3rd down. So, you just, there again, you take the things you're doing well and you build on them, and you find ways to do things you're not doing so well, obviously much better. So that's what I'm charged with.
If you're listening right now, that's Dan Campbell, head coach of the Detroit Lions, talking about what he needs to do and what the team needs to do to refocus. You know what? And he's right. Sometimes you have to step away from a situation. I remember, and I always bring up Cleveland because, we were losing. But actually, I even got a better one. I remember when I was with Seattle, and we had a stretch where we lost a couple games that we shouldn't have lost. And obviously, we weren't 0-6. But you know what Pete Carroll did? Pete Carroll, he saw that we were struggling, as players, coaches, the media kind of was getting on to Seattle, and this is before the year before we went to the Super Bowl, or they went to the Super Bowl. I wasn't there. He gave us a day off. Like in football, in NFL, it's called Victory Monday. And obviously it wouldn't be a Victory Monday because they didn't win. But you get a Victory Monday sometimes where coaches say, hey, good win. You strung together a couple wins. So Monday is a day in which you just come in, you watch the game tape, you watch the film, you get a lift in, you talk to the media, you have a walkthrough, and you address the mistakes that you made. But if you win, they'll give you that Monday off, and then you already have Tuesday off as well. Today wouldn't have been a bad day for a Victory Monday for them. And obviously, again, they didn't win. But sometimes you just need a fresh start, man. Like if Dan Campbell would have said, hey, you know what, guys, after the game on Sunday,
great point.
We'll just give you tomorrow off, because he knows they're struggling. Like we've been beating the Lions up. The media has been beating the Lions up. They've been beating themselves up. Teams have been obviously beating them up. If he would have said, hey, you know what, guys, take tomorrow off, take Tuesday off. I see you guys on Wednesday. If you're hurt, make sure you report to the training room, get some treatment, but take it off, enjoy some time with your family and time with your teammate. That would have been a really good time for them to just relax and say, you know what, coaches got our back. That was really cool. Let me take this time to not have to see Allen Park and Rotunda Drive. I don't want to have to look at that. I don't want to look at the Honolulu Blue and Silver right now. I want to go binge watch Squid Games. I want to go bowling. I want to take my son to the park. That would have been something cool for them to do, and maybe it'll happen again next week.
What do you think they're going through right now? Because now they've lost 6 in a row. Let's face it, there's nothing else that we, media, fans,
can say.
We can say. We got nothing else to say. We got nothing else to ask them. You want to ask these guys that come on a show and they don't want to come on a show.
No.
There's nothing to talk about. What do you think they're going through now, thinking, now we got to go to L.A. and play the quarterback.
Get our brains beat.
We have to play the quarterback now. That was our franchise for the past 10 years, 12 years.
And now he's an MVP candidate right now.
That's got to be – this has got to be worse than ever right now.
It's deflating for a fan, too, because usually as a fan, when you go through these types of seasons, you can call for the coach to be fired. You can call for the general manager to be fired.
Yeah.
You can want this player to be benched.
Or cut.
There's nothing to do.
Nah.
There's no head to roll. There's nobody to call for.
Yeah.
Goff's not getting benched. If he does, I'd be shocked. The coach isn't going anywhere. The general manager isn't going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. This is the definition of NFL purgatory. You're stuck in mud, and there's nothing you can do about it other than A, watch with no emotion, or B, not watch. And we all know that most likely isn't an option. You can watch without any emotion, I guess.
We're going to watch and we're going to curse.
You know, I mean, it's just, now it becomes laughable, right? I mean, it truly becomes laughable. You're like, whatever, dude. If you wake me up when you win, you want to cry, cry. You want to be happy, be happy. But, like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this up and down anymore. I got to get a break in, guys. Can we continue on?
Hey, Art. At least marijuana is recreational in Michigan. Maybe they should turn that way.
Amen. Oh, man. Let me know. Ermanni and Edwards.
Full Sports Network, The Bottom Line.